So there are a few simple things that make a massive difference in how fast kids learn English, and almost nobody tells the parents about them. So today I'm sharing what most parents don't know about helping kids learn English. And by the end of this video, you are going to have 3 things you can start doing differently today. So if you're helping a child grow their confidence in English, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. I share strategies that help kids move from understanding English to expressing their ideas clearly. Go ahead and stay till the end because there are 3 specific things that you can try this week that take less than 5 minutes each. All right, so most parents are doing their best with the information that they have, and that's really admirable. You guys are doing great. But nobody is telling parents about a lot of things. So there are a few small shifts that change everything, and they're almost never talked about. So these are not complicated strategies. They do not require money, materials, but you can start them today. So the difference between a child who improves slowly and a child who improves very quickly often comes down to these small things that are happening at home. So let's go ahead and get into them. So before we jump in, if you're helping your child grow their English, subscribe to this channel. I share strategies that help kids move from shy and anxious learners and understanding English to expressing their ideas clearly and confidently. So my English Confidence Club helps children ages 8 to 12 speak English with confidence. And there are small groups, real conversations with real results and real progress. The spots are limited and the link is in the description. All right, let's jump into it. So the smallest changes in how you support your child can create the biggest difference in how fast they improve. So small, consistent shifts in how you respond, how you wait, and how you celebrate your child's English make an enormous difference over time. So parents are the most powerful English environment that a child has outside the classroom. So the way that you react and you show up for your child to their English either opens them up or closes them down. So most parents don't even realize that they carry this power, right? So these home shifts work best when they're paired with structured speaking practice, and the two together is what creates real results fast, right? Okay, so try English first before translating. This is a huge one. So when your child hears a word in English that they are not familiar with, give them time to figure out the meaning from the context before translating. So this is something that my fastest and quickest learners do. They do not immediately translate. They don't put it in the chat and say, hey, teacher, can you translate this? I'll say no, and we will work around that. I will describe it. I will use gestures. Translation can be a helpful tool, kind of like I see it as a last resort in a lot of my classes. But it shouldn't be the first step, right? As I said earlier, last resort. There are so many other things you can do. Like, as I said, hand gestures, descriptions, pictures can help too. That's kind of a last resort as well. But yeah, every time a child figures out a word from context, their brain builds a connection that sticks far longer than a translated word ever would. So it really creates that meaning to help it stick. And the more they think in English, the faster they improve. And this isn't a theory, it's just how language acquisition works, right? So start small. Like, I want you, next time your child is asking, hey, what does this mean? Or I want you first to ask, hey, maybe let's look at this together. Let's reread that sentence, or let's listen to that song again and try to figure it out together. Okay, so every mistake, remember, we are going for progress over perfection. So every mistake your child makes is proof that they are trying, right? So reframe it that way every single time. Hey, I understood that. That was great communication there. Perfect, right? Give them that positive praise. And focusing on effort builds confidence faster than correcting errors ever will, right? So a child who speaks imperfectly is ahead of a child who stays silent. And this is almost always the case. So when parents celebrate the attempt rather than evaluating the accuracy and correcting them, kids speak more, they try more, they give more effort in class or in the conversation, and they improve faster. So the goal is a child who's willing to use English, right? Perfection, well, it'll come later. And remember, the goal isn't perfection, but that accuracy will follow. But willingness and that excitement and that engagement, that comes first. All right. So, as I mentioned in a previous video, I had a student who I was his biggest cheerleader. For a year and a half, we had classes together. And for that year and a half, up until this one specific moment, this kiddo, wow, he hated reading, despised it. Do you guys have children who just hate reading in their native language or in English? Yeah, this kid did not like reading in either his native language or in English. So it was a fight almost every single class to get him to read. It was that battle. But one day he brought in the story, Cat Kid Comic Club. So he was so excited. He had been able to go to the library to pick out this book on his own at school. And he came to class and he read almost the entire book. It was absolutely incredible. And along the way, there were many mistakes, right? Just as we have mistakes in our native language. But I was very selective about how I correct errors. And many students have told me that this has really contributed to their confidence levels in English. But yes, again, I praised this progress. I was so proud of him. I still am proud of him. And yeah, it's an incredible, incredible thing. So go ahead, make sure you are just encouraging your child to try because that goes further than you think. All right, so the 5-second rule. I often refer to this because unfortunately, not enough teachers and parents know about this or implement it, right? So after you ask a question, wait at least 5 seconds. So go ahead and count. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, at least. That gives your time enough time to think about the question, process it in English, and remember, this silence is not awkwardness. It's their brain working hard to formulate a response, to process, and to actually give you that response, right? So oftentimes, many teachers and parents fill this silence too quickly because it might feel uncomfortable or maybe they're a little impatient. But remember, I promise this trick helps tremendously because this is where the language is being built. So count to 5 in your head silently, and it'll feel longer than 5 seconds, but what comes after is definitely worth the wait. And this is like one of the tiniest changes a parent or a teacher could make, and yet it is still one of the most powerful. All right, so I want you to try this today. So ask your child one question in English, just one. Keep it like simple, low pressure. You could ask a follow-up question of why or why not. Again, count to 5 silently. Do not fill the silence. Just wait. Next, I want you to wait and watch what happens. You might be surprised at what comes out when you give them the space. And that's the entire exercise. One question, 5 seconds, and patience, right? So do this once today, and I want you to notice the difference in what your child produces compared to when maybe it happens to the best of us, right? Sometimes we're a little impatient and we jump in. So just go ahead and really practice this, and you will be shocked at the results. All right, so another strategy that really helps parents is an English-only time at home. So pick one activity every day that happens in English. So this could be dinner, this could be a car ride, this could be walking your child to school, anything that's already part of your daily routine. So just one activity. And remember, consistency is so crucial and it's more powerful than duration. So this could be 5 minutes, right? Before bed or during breakfast, something like that. And it's so important because those 5 minutes, 10 minutes, they will compound and you will be shocked at the results. And this activity doesn't have to be perfect, right? We're striving for communication, clear communication, not perfection. And it just has to happen, right? That's all. Over time, this daily English moment becomes a habit, right? We're looking to create those habits because my students who learn the quickest and stay are the ones who are the most consistent. They have this habit. They read every night before bed for at least 10 minutes in English. They have weekly English classes, bi-weekly English classes. Sometimes they come to English 5 times a week with me, right? They're practicing English outside of class with me too. That is a huge one. My students who are the most successful, or I should say, probably the students that improve the quickest, are ones who find ways to practice English outside the classroom. And these habits are where real fluency lives. Okay, parents, remember, you do not have to be fluent to support your child, right? You just have to create the right environment, be curious, stay patient, create a low pressure and consistent practice for your child. And you're already doing this by watching this video, and this will matter to your child or children more than you already know. And the parents who help their kids become confident English speakers are not always the ones with the best English. They're the ones that show up consistently and make English feel safe at home. And you're already that parent. All right, so this week, go ahead and try. Wait 5 seconds after every question. Choose one English only activity every day and celebrate every attempt your child makes in English. And you'll be surprised that you'll see them celebrating you in English too. This happens a lot in my classes. So, these are awesome things that you could do all under 5 minutes. So if this is helpful, go ahead and subscribe. This is exactly what my channel is about every single week. All right, so thank you so much for watching. I love seeing you guys here. I hope this one gave you at least one thing that you can do with your family today. And remember, you don't have to be your child's English teacher. You're something way more important than that. You're the environment where their confidence either grows or shrinks. So go ahead and drop in the comment which of these tips you're going to try first. And I read every single one and would love to know what you're trying. And if this helped you, please go ahead and share it with at least one other parent, because it helps this channel grow and it helps me reach more kiddos and help them become confident English speakers. So if you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that button, and I will be here every week with English confidence tips for parents who are helping their child or children learn English. So I'll see you in the next one.